one. Welcome to HASSDISCUSSES. We got Mr. Sisco of Bazz Mafia and Schemaposse, brother of Buddha Jones and legendary producer. And welcome to the show, man. What you been up to lately?
Shit, not much. Another day, another dollar working. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to change the culture every time I do something.
Trying to change the I like that mentality. Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest. The first thing I heard from you is the new Posse song, okay? And I'm new to this. I'm gonna be honest, but it's just this rabbit hole ever since I heard that I've been going into. And when I heard new Posse, I thought I was I envisioned myself in like Mad Max. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was in a chase scene in Mad Max. You know what I'm saying? And then I went back and heard all the rest of your discography, the Xavier Wolf songs, all of them, and it's geez, man, so much greatness and the Nemesis collabs. It's a good rabbit hole. You got a real good discography that people should take a couple hours, days to dive into. It's a lot of fun. What was your approach when you made the new Posse song?
When I made the new Posse song, here's what's crazy. The beat is at least about a year and a half old. That's number one.
Yeah.
And like the verse, all the verses up to Buddha verse was already done.
Yeah.
Except Zay's verse. But we you know what I'm saying? So we putting together the posse tape and we you know what I'm saying, we should do a posse song. I'm like, shit, I already got something started. So sent it out to a few more folks and then I sent it to my homie Natsu. And what he did to that beat was just completely fucking insane. Like all the different style changes and all that, that was Natsu. I more so just did the
The original synth.
well, it's like okay, so the sample is just somebody scratching a record, and I just took that shit and chopped it up. I don't know how the fuck I thought about doing that shit. I was just like, let's see if I could do something with a record scratch or something. So I did that, and like I said, I had you know what I'm saying, came up with the idea and everything, got all the verses on it. And once all the verses was on it, I sent it off to Natsu. And Natsu he basically made like a different style for every verse on the beat and that shit was just fucking amazing.
Yeah, sometimes the 808s would cut off, when somebody goes in and then
Mm-hmm.
it goes back on and it repeats that cycle. And it's beautifully constructed. And, as an up and coming producer myself, it's what the fuck? You know what I mean? I'm just, mind blown when I heard that. But I also want to ask about the Too Cold beat. That was produced by Buddha Jones. I don't know how close you are with Buddha Jones, but were you there for when that beat was made or no? Because you were on
I
that
mean,
track.
I would like to say I'm pretty close to Buddha Jones because I live with him.
Okay. Okay, but that's just another beat I'm fascinated with. But let's go back to the beginning. Where that's New Posse was really late in your career as a producer. What was the first time you ever? When was the first time you ever touched a DAW?
First time I ever touched the DAW, it was Fruity Loops, and I want to say back when FL7 was out,
Mm.
and I got started producing because, to be quite frank, I was a little badass kid, so my brother was like, "You gonna sit down and learn some beats because you bad as hell, so you need something to do. That's all you need is something to do." So I remember the first beat I made was me sampling Bernie Mac saying, "I ain't scared of you motherfuckers," and just did the drum track over it. That was like my very first beat ever. And then ever since then, I just fell in love with making beats. Just, it's crazy because it all stems from when I was DJ, because I used to do the screw and the chop style back in the day as DJ Slim Killer. And then after a while with that, I just got interested in producing because this one DJ named DJ Chuckster, I believe that's his name, and he had started making beats. I'm like, shit, I want to learn how to make beats. I never knew how to go about it. Then, like I said, my brother came about. Yeah, sit your little bad ass down. You gonna learn how to make beats because he
Yeah.
had got FL Studio from one of his homies and shit, and he didn't even know I wanted to make beats. So it just more so just a natural a natural transition from going from a DJ to a producer.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be honest. I don't know much about DJing, but I do assume that there's a real spontaneous energy to it and stuff like that. I mean, is it like a less calculated thing and more like a spontaneous like act in the sense where that helped you go into producing like cuz you have the it's more improvisational. Is that true about DJing? Like
I will say the thing that I learned from DJing is my ability to blend samples. And the
yeah.
reason I say that is because when you DJ, you learn about different BPMs that the song is in. So say like you got an acapella from here and then you got an instrumental from another track, but you want to blend it together. So you got to find the right BPM to match it together and everything like that. And then also I was like real influenced by the screw tapes, the Swisher House tapes, the OG Ron C's and all of that. And it's like I love how they will make one mixtape sound like one long ass song. Like
Oh yeah.
it don't have no breaks in it. And it's just effortlessly going to one track to one track to one track to one track, and it all flows in just like perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not no. Okay, we hitting you with some ESG, then we're gonna go to some techno or some shit like that. No, it all flows within that same realm, whether
Yeah.
it be like a sample that ESG used in the song or another song from around that same style.
Yeah.
So DJing definitely helped me, like I say have an ear for sample picking because that's one of the things I will say that's real slept on about me because like I can hear, excuse me, I can hear a sample in about like half of a second type shit.
Yeah.
So I would say DJing definitely helped me as far as that aspect with it.
Like when you pick the Joski Love sample, the horn, like you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like the beautiful. That's used a lot. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, what's your favorite instance of someone else using that or you using that in a track?
Um, shit, that's a good question. I want to say it's honestly gonna be like a 3-6 song, really. Any 3-6 song that sampled it because they didn't sample it a million damn times. So
Yeah,
really, any Memphis shit sampling it, really.
yeah.
So
I'd also shout out Jay Green's from the South because that's just crazy. That sample right there, the way he used it, I loved.
Jay Green is definitely like a motherfucker when it comes to flipping samples. I give him credit on that.
Yeah, and I also like how he uses a lot of gangsta pat. Like when you play Mo Murder and 66.6 syllables like next to each other like just for fun, it's
Hmm.
it's so much to hear and it's like so much greatness, but in general
But the thing
yeah,
with Jay though is this motherfucker is a mastermind when it comes to it because not only will he go like he won't just sample. Sometimes he won't even sample the song that you think he sampled. He'll go find the original sample or damn near replay the shit. And that I gotta give him his credit on that because when he be replaying shit, sometimes he be spot on with it.
yeah, because everybody in the comments of the From the South, they're giving a bunch of names for what the song it comes from, and then it's like they're saying DJ Zerk, Toothpick, they're saying 3-6 Mafia, and it's like no, it's Joski Love, okay?
I mean, you got to think about it, though. A lot of the folks that came late into the SoundCloud era, a lot of them don't know their history on the music. They just think,
Yeah,
"Oh, okay, this the first song I heard with this in it, so this the original."
Yeah, and I'd say that about a lot of not just Memphis, you know, Memphis rappers who are, you know what I mean, like the people who use that sound without the knowledge. I'd say that a lot about new age emo trap. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you ask like I guarantee if you ask one of these like kids like Trippy Red or something like that, you ask them, do you know who the Dead Kennedys are? They'll be like, what? You know
I
what I mean?
mean, but with somebody like Trippie Redd, you never know because he grew up listening to that rock emo shit, so he might know about all that type of shit.
I
The
said that
thing is,
wrong. I said that wrong. I meant like someone who is like who is underground that picks a guitar type beat that
mm-hmm.
is like inspired by Juice World and Trippy that
Oh yeah,
makes
I
it
get what you're saying.
yeah. Trippy Red probably knows it. That was my bad. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's definitely what it really is. Like a lot of the folks not really wanting to go back and do the history and do the homework. See, I came from like an era, not to sound like an old head, but I came from an era where like you got to go do your homework about the shit that you're doing. Because it's like I say, even going back to being a DJ. You know what I'm saying? You had to go. You know what I'm saying? Look at different genres, get different feels for things, get different grooves, you get different ideas, you get different things that you would never like. For example, rap and like a lot of reggae, a lot of that shit really blends perfect together. So it's like
yeah.
really like the DJ, like going back to the DJ aspect, it helps out a lot as far as in the overall scheme of everything from going back to doing history, looking up samples, looking up records that mesh with this, what could be a dope blend with this,
Yeah.
things of that nature.
So it's like when Stephen King was a English teacher before he became a writer.
Mm-hmm.
Cuz you have it's a scholar. It's like you have to be a scholar. You have to realize, okay, let's go back and read some Shakespeare and then I'm going to make Carrie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's like just some comparison I thought of. So like that's interesting because like if you ask a lot of producers, you know, some of them, but a majority of the greats, they all say that they started with DJing or something else before, you know, and that's always
Mm-hmm.
interesting to check out. Maybe I should get into that, you know. But
I
yeah,
mean, you wouldn't. It would definitely help you for sure. Because like I say, because being a DJ, sometimes you can just step away and just enjoy music for what it is, being music. Because sometimes as producers, we overanalyze things. Sometimes we just listen to a song and be like, damn, why that hi hat so loud, or why they pick that snare, or why we just start analyzing the track and we get caught up into trying to figure out this, why is it this, why to do that, and things like that. That we just sometimes forget to just enjoy music. So
yeah,
being a DJ will definitely help with that. Just like sit back and just step away from all the bullshit that comes with being a producer because like I said, as producers we tend to overthink shit.
yeah.
Like we sometimes we just can't listen to a song and just listen to the song. We overanalyze it and want to try to study it and all that other stuff. So it just being a DJ really helps with that.
So it's kind of like Dr. Dre in the movie Straight Outta Compton when he's just laying on the ground listening to Everybody Loves the Sunshine. That's like the visualizer of what you mean. You're just relaxing and enjoying shit, basically.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Cause sometimes like even when I call myself sample searching and shit, sometimes I just get caught up and just be listening to the songs and shit. Like it was one time I listened to a damn. It was a Japanese singer album, and I'm so bad with remember her name is right now. But it was a Japanese singer album. I ain't know shit she said, but that shit was just a vibe. And it's like, damn, when you really go back and like listen to a lot, like definitely a lot of the '70s and '80s Japan music, a lot of that shit, it really sound like American, you know what I'm saying, soul. Like they really study our culture and they could damn near emulate it to a T. The only difference is just the language barrier.
Yeah. That's why a lot of vaporwave there is so good. And that aesthetic really stems from I don't know where vaporwave came from, but there is so much like Japanese fusing and stuff like that, and that's why I've always been interested in vaporwave, in that type of stuff. But also, I want to ask though, you might have more knowledge on this than me. Didn't Kid Cudi the track sample an 80s Japanese song or something?
Yes. I thought you was talking about the artist Kid Cudi for a second. Yeah.
Yeah, the Pierre track. Do you know what
Yeah.
one it is, like, or you just know that it's Japanese?
Not offhand, but I done sampled it before in the past, so it was in my slice beats folder already, and I just got 4 of them. They just remade the beat.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned Everybody Loves the Sunshine, but Nem sampled that, and you've worked a lot with Nem, right? You've done music videos with him. What's it like shooting a music video with Nem?
Them is cool as fuck. I
Yeah,
would say that. Them is just cool as fuck. Like that's definitely the homie. The only person that had me pull up to a studio, but we ain't do no studio shit. We, you know what I'm saying, just kicked it.
yeah.
You know. But Nem is definitely cool ass dude. And then it's funny because I'm taller than him, so that makes it always a little bit more funny because I could always crack short jokes and shit. So I'd be
Yeah.
like, "What up, little bro?"
How old is he though? Isn't he like 20? Is he older than you, right?
He's older than me, but I don't be remembering people ages like that
Yeah.
because one thing I learned, and I was just talking with my dad about this the other day, watching the college games. A lot of them motherfuckers look older than me, and they young as hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't be trying to guess people ages and try to remember ages no more because nobody looks how old they are no more.
Everybody tells me I look 20 when like I'm like 17 and shit. Like everybody tells me that. It's annoying. And yeah, I get what you mean. While age could be an annoying subject matter. But
Yeah.
I asked this question, which you might be aware of, but are you aware you're on the Funk Wikipedia page?
No, I was not aware of that.
But it's not really a good article there. It's just like so short and not really like that interesting, but it is cool to see that you're on that and stuff like that. And it says like sounds created by DJ Smokey, Space Ghost Perp, and Mr. Sisco. So you got your credit there. But so tell me about when you started joining Schemaposse. Wasn't that around the time you started working a lot with Cold Blooded?
Actually, me and Cold Blooded was working like a year and a half, almost 2 years before that. Like before the Scheme of Posse even came about, me and KB was already working together. So when he was in scheming and everything, he more so linked it up like, hey, I think it'd be cool if we get Cisco in here. And then fast forward, Cisco joined Scheme of Posse.
And hell yeah. What's like the best part about being in Schemaposse? Is it like the people, or the music you make, or is it the friendships? Because I feel like that's what would be interesting about being in a group.
It's honestly a combination of all three because one, a lot of us is just pure ignorant. So we just be cracking jokes all day, sending memes, you know what I'm saying? But then a lot of us is talented in a whole bunch of different aspects. Like you got Sempra who could rap his ass off, KB who could rap his ass off, Akatami, she could hit you with some singing shit, or she could rap her ass off. She could do the pop shit, like the pop rock sound and shit. All like a lot of us, we're just like it's just like you say, a friendship of folks that's just extremely talented, and a bunch of folks that's also like-minded as you. Because I'm pretty sure nobody wants to be in a group where they feel like, okay, I'm the only person that does this type of stuff here. I'm alone here with this. Like, no, we all do all different type of shit, and it all meshes in together. And then, like I say, the friendship aspect because sometimes you could just catch us going live with and our homie Infinity, and it'd be me,
Yeah.
Coda, Zay, or Sumo, and all of us would just be talking shit the whole time. Like,
Sumo, yeah. Is he like just an affiliate or is he in it? In
no, Sumo is scheming.
Okay, because he's always Zave on live, and it's like it's funny as shit. Their lives are awesome. Him and Coda are always on live, and it's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, and sometimes I be at work and I just join in and be like, fuck it, let me see what they up to.
Yeah,
And
you're
next
just
thing you
on
know,
work. You
they
don't even talk that much. Like it's just like you're. I don't know what you're doing, but it's just funny. Like you're in the background and stuff the whole time. Like you're not even saying anything, but you're there, and that's what makes it great. Um, yeah,
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, I just sometimes like to come in and kick it with the homies, even if we just shooting the shit. Because like I said, that's what makes Schema Posse so dope because we all got genuine love for each other. You know what I'm saying? Like we all look at each other as brothers and sisters and shit. Like we all there for each other, even if it's like some like if we see one of our home like one of our brothers going through some shit, we might just send them a personal message, hey bro, you all good? I just want to check up on you, shit like that. And you know, like I say, it's just like a big family, really.
yeah, yeah, and that's what makes it so like appealing. Is you guys all seem genuinely interested in working with each other, and you're not like it's just so much like it just looks like a real healthy environment, and that's why I'm interested in it because y'all are cool as people.
Mm-hmm.
I've interviewed like 6 schema members and I haven't had a bad experience, to be honest, you know.
Like I said, we all cool people. It's just when we first came out, everybody knows the shit that happened.
Yeah, like it
But
was
you know, it was more so like we just like more so had to find ourselves and okay, let's really just stick with our solid group right here. And then along our travels, like from Jay and KB doing the Doubt Me Now tours, they met a few folks like Amic and et cetera, and shit.
yeah.
So it's like all of us, we all are connected in some way, and we all have linked up with one another in some type of way. Like I've been out to Vegas several times, and every time I go out to Vegas, you're KB, where you at?
Yeah.
You're pull up. I'm right over here at the I'm at the Excalibur Hotel. I'm over here at Circus. Where we at? You know, I need the gas because I can't do the dispensary here. Where we at with it? What's up?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it'd be times like the last time I was in Vegas, me and KB had linked up. I was at his spot. I don't know how long it went, but I just know that we kept on smoking, and I made about like 9, 10 beats in that session before I left. I can't tell you what none of them beats sound like offhand. I just know I made a bunch of hard ass shit while half asleep.
Yeah, yeah. The best beats are made at like around 3 to 4 a.m., to be
I
honest.
mean, so it was Vegas time, so it was like it's late, but it's early because I'm in Detroit, so Vegas is 3 hours behind. So if it's 12 in the morning here, it's 9 p.m. over there, and they still lit over there. So with everybody being lit over there,
Yeah.
you gonna be lit. And then when you finally sit your ass down, it's like 1 in the morning in Vegas. You
Yeah.
realize it's really 4 in the morning. Where the hell you from? You have damn near been up all night, and it's like, fuck it, Vegas.
Yeah. So KB, now I don't want to ask where he lives, but a lot of people are in Schema are based out in Nevada in Vegas. What other places have you sort of hung out with people in Schema? Like you've been to Florida a lot, I assume, with Nem.
That was really my first time being in Florida.
Oh, all right.
But like a lot of us move around. Like KB, there's no telling, like, you know what I'm saying, where he really be stationed at. He'll be in Vegas 1 minute, the next thing you know he'll pop up in LA, the next thing you know he'll pop up. It's like KB mysterious. So when you catch KB, you catch KB. That's really like that's what I can say about KB. Then like I say, me and Buddha, we live together, so of course, you know, saying that there. And then we're also really biological brothers. That's really my older brother. And it's like I linked up with a few folks from the earlier schema days when they came out to Detroit and, you know what I'm saying, did some shows or whatever. Then like linking up with Jake a couple times when I was in Vegas. Then once like a couple times when he came out to here during the Double Now tours and shit. It's like all of us we link up. Then some of us is international, like Semper's over in New Zealand.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
we
saying?
were joking on the podcast I did with Semper and Teddy. I was like, Teddy, you gotta like sneak in New Zealand and do a show with him or some shit. And they were like, you're gonna get hit by a musket or some shit on the way out there and shit. But
Man, I love Simple and Teddy, man. Those two is fucking hilarious.
yeah, if I were to hear any collaboration project by two people in Schema, I feel like that's them two together, or a Lil Zave and DJV Siren collaboration project, and then in terms of, this isn't a duo project, but this is sort of like a group project. I would love to see a Bazz Mafia project if you haven't already dropped one.
I mean, well, we dropped the EP back in like 2017, but definitely a Bazz Mafia project on the way. We've been like throughout the years, we've been just recording and then re-recording and then re-recording. Then life happens and then record some new shit. So it's more so not not when we gonna drop it. It's just more so getting together and finally getting like a solid idea. So we plan on like all linking up together and shit. Probably like somewhere in the middle ground somewhere. Who knows? But we gonna definitely link up and drop a Bazz Mafia project.
Yeah,
Maybe this year, maybe next year. I can't put a specific date on it, but it's definitely been in the works.
yeah. What I
But
mean,
but
yeah.
the whole folks over to the Bazz Mafia project, me and KB got a project together.
Yeah, I'm hyped for that shit. Oh my god, dude. I'm gonna be on the lookout for that, and hopefully the audience is hyped for that as well. Um, Now I want to change the subject matter to something I said I wasn't gonna talk about, but I kind of thought about talking about it in an interesting way. Do you think that? Ghostman wants to separate himself from the Schema days because the way he's changing his music sound?
Most might want to separate this stuff from the scheme of days because he got my tune for account frozen for the song that we did together.
Oh, that's the reason.
That's the reason I hate Ghost Man because, bro, you got my fucking TuneCore account flat, and now I technically owe TuneCore $3,500, and I'm like, shit, y'all better make it from the music that's up there already because I'm going over here with.
DistroKid or whatever you're using.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you know what I'm saying. Ghost Man fucked up my TuneCore account, so that's the real reason why I dislike him. Like,
but I was asking,
besides,
like, why the reason he would go that far is probably because of a dislike, or sort of maybe he just was like, I want to change my style up and I don't want people to like really care or hear about the old style I was doing, because he's doing that metal shit now. And I'm not giving
I,
any excuse, you know what I mean? I'm just saying that maybe that's the reason. It's because he's changing his sound up and he doesn't want to be associated with it. Kind of like how someone would not acknowledge a memory.
I'll put it to you like this: this isn't the first time that Ghostman did this. You know what I'm saying? Our guy Eric. I mean, I'll just put it like this: if you ever heard of an artist named Ill Biz from back in the day,
No.
that's Ghostman. Ill
Ill
Biz is
Biz.
Ghostman. B-I-Z. ILLBIZ. That's Ghostman. He went from rapping like a Southern Texas artist, switching to Ghostman, doing the quote unquote funk shit and all of that, then switching it to the metal shit. So every time, like I more so look at it every time he decides to switch the styles, he end up snaking his homies. So once he's done with the metal, I'm pretty sure he can snake some folks and about to transition to some other shit.
So it's that sort of uneven mentality. Do you aspire, and you probably are already acting on this, to be a sort of even person, not doing things too like the same in your career, just not like snaking? Like it's not that hard to like be a like, you know what I'm saying? Because I've managed people, and they've literally taken like $100 from someone because they didn't like the verse like that someone sent to them, and they're like, oh, I don't like the verse and I don't do refunds. Like that type of shit, you see that a lot, and it's like
Yeah.
that shit pisses me off. And it's like it's not that people shouldn't pay for art, but whenever there's money introduced into a situation with art, for some reason, a little bit less than half the time, it ruins it.
That's why I choose to just really collaborate with my friends, or if I do pay for some work, I don't know the person. And I'm like, if I pay for a beat, I'm getting it off their website or some shit like that.
Like a track train or
Yeah, beat stars and shit like that. I'm just buy it straight from there, so that way I don't really even have to interact with the person, just because I try to eliminate all bullshit as possible, because I'm not really the kind of guy that handles it well. I'm trying to work on learning how to manage it better. But when you from the hood and shit, it's just you it's just a lot of things as far as pride that we can't let shit slide. So as far as just like being a pride thing, I tend to sometimes overreact and lash out at shit. So I'm trying to work on that, but sometimes when the disrespect just too high, it's like, oh fuck this. And
yeah,
then, like I
like
said, you get shit like the songs me and KB did with Rivals. You know what I'm saying? You get shit with me lashing out on Twitter about, you know what I'm saying, suicide boys stealing this and this and this and all of this and shit like that, because at the end of the day, it's only so much bullshit that somebody could take before somebody decides to just, all right, fuck all this. I'm one of them people who could burn a bridge and be content with burning that bridge. So a lot of this shit, like a lot of the connections that folks would, you know what I'm saying, break their neck for in the underground, I don't give a fuck about. Like very few of them I care about. Like for example, Eddie Baker, one of the realest guys ever. Like he came to Detroit a few times, and like, you know what I'm saying, we chopped it up, and he wanna actually, you know what I'm saying, help niggas succeed. And folks who just want to see folks succeed, I'm rocking with it. That's why I don't really do a whole lot of too many collaborations, because you just see a lot of folks just really want to try to use what you have and try to sponge off you and shit like that.
I feel like the best scenario where someone that you don't know would collaborate with someone, or like I know a lot of smaller artists that only have like one EP out or something like that. I feel like the best scenario they could be put in when they're trying to work with someone that's way bigger than more established is when they work with them and want to learn from them. But you don't get that a lot of the time. A lot of the time you get someone that's young and wanting to like leech off of them, like, oh my god, look at those numbers, holy shit, you know. And that's
Mm-hmm.
annoying. Like if you're, you know, small and you're like learning the process of things and you want to collaborate with someone big, you know, don't go into it thinking, oh, their numbers means I'm gonna get their numbers being big means that if I work with them, my numbers gonna be big. Would you say that it's better to go into situations with someone larger than you to think, oh, what can I learn from someone who has more experience than me?
I honestly think it's just better to go in and learn the shit yourself, and then you know what to be on the lookout for.
Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, you can't expect somebody to teach you and hold your hand through something. So I really would just suggest folks go out and anything that they're trying to do, that they learn it. Unless they got homies that's just, you know what I'm saying, genuine and really want to see you succeed and shit, like Envy and them. I give them to the utmost credit, because without them two, I would not have as many videos as I got now, and I don't really even have that many. But due to them being able to just take footage that I shot off of the phone and make a dope ass video come from it, like those type of people, they deserve all their flowers like right now. Like I would definitely give them their credit. So it's just like really, you got to go in and it's better to just do things with your friends and learn together. Really.
Hell yeah. So like,
I would say that.
okay, I get that mentality, which is like completely different from what I was saying. So like, it's more of a when you're doing stuff with your friend, there's not too many unrealistic expectations, and you're having fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. That's an interesting point of view that I never would have thought of, and I might take that with me. And any artist listening, take that with you, because I want my podcast, when I'm interviewing an artist, I want this podcast to sort of help artists listening or anybody that aspires to do anything with themselves. That's what I hope
Mm-hmm.
to do. This isn't gossip, right? You know, this isn't just gossip. This is to help the artists listening and stuff like that. So you were earlier talking about how you're really good at picking samples and how that's sort of an overlooked aspect of you. Is the sample the first thing you nail down when it comes to the beat, or is it the percussion first?
Um, Sample first because I just go through and hear some shit, and then depending on what I feel like the sample calls for, I go from there as far as the percussion aspect. So this the sample first.
Interesting. Nice. So a lot of like your sounds and stuff, have been, quote unquote, bited. But like, what did it take to find those sounds that are so unique and so like sort of replicated and inspired from? Like, were you like making the sounds yourself? Was it a lot of digging? Like, how did that go through when you were making these original drum kits and stuff like that?
I mean, well, I really only made one drum kit years and years ago when I really didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But as far as like the sound picking aspect, you mean like my sample picking or when I do original production?
Original production, like.
When I do original production, a lot of the times I would say, uh, I really don't know how I come across the sounds. Really, I just be going through and picking shit. I got tons and tons and tons of expansion kits that I've bought and folks gave me and shit like that. So it's just I just really go through and then just if I hear the sound that catch my ear, I just grab it. Sometimes I do shit like play a melody out, save that as a wave file, then throw it back in, time stretch it to different BPMs, chop it up different ways and shit like that to get different sounds from it. It just really I don't know, just really like however I feel. Sometimes I just go in and make a beat 5 minutes in out, boom. Sometimes I'll be in there 2, 3 hours just really trying to construct every single sound that I'm looking for and search for every single sound that I'm looking for. So I don't know. I really can't tell you how I come across like original sounds and shit.
Yeah, yeah,
It just more so happens.
yeah. Um, I think we should probably go back to before the DJing, which we didn't really touch upon. As a kid, what were your hobbies, and what were you like doing before you did any DJing or anything related to music?
To be honest with you, bro, when I was in my mother's stomach, my dad used to have headphones to my mama's stomach and play music. And then like when I was born, he used to have me in his lap messing with DJ equipment. So honestly, I've really been DJing and doing shit like that since about 2 to 3 years old. Like ever since I was able to like walk and talk, my pops would, sit there with me and I'll be messing with the turntable, messing with the mixer, messing with the dual CD players or things like that. Then around 5, 6, 7, when I started getting like my own sense of like music and things like that, he just used to let me, all right, hey pops, can I use your stuff to make a mix? Yeah, go ahead. And then he'll just have me sit right there and make my own different mixes from picking different CDs that I like and different songs that I like and putting it all together. So really I've been doing music all my life. That's been one of my hobbies.
Yeah, Yeah. So
Like,
like since you've known music a while, I assume you're familiar with a lot of different genres and stuff like that. What other genres of music are you like listening to a lot besides rap?
I mean, well, my Spotify playlist, I would say, is just a mixed bag of whatever the fuck. You'll hear some old soul shit like some Johnny Guitar Watson, some SOS band, some Lakeside shit like that. Then you'll hear like some Marilyn Manson, or you'll hear some System of a Down. System of a Down is honestly one of my favorite bands of all time. Like you'll hear some System of a Down, or you'll hear Queen. Now,
Hey.
System of a Down is my favorite band of all time, but Queen Bohemian Rhapsody is my favorite song of all time. Like I know that whole song by heart, can sing called the parts and all. Like I love that song. And then it's like I listen to R&B also, like from newer R&B to older R&B. So like sometimes I'll be listening to some Keith Sweat shit like that, or
Nice.
just honestly at work earlier I was listening to this song by Masego and Don Toliver. I forgot the name of it, but I was listening to that shit and I put that on repeat a couple times because it's like it got an R&B and reggae type vibe, and then also.
All right, so there's some technical difficulties right there, but if you go to patreon.com/MikeMediaInc, you can support the channel if you enjoy this. It's only $3 a month to just support it. And you get some exclusive content on there. There's just unedited videos that I'll be putting up there, just little rough drafts and stuff like that. Unreleased interviews and stuff like that. Ned Bunny had an interview that we did, but he won't release it and stuff like that. And just some cool mashups and stuff, little blog updates and stuff like that, unreleased stuff or taken down stuff such as the Wolfie Wolf interview, stuff like that. Go support the channel if you want to do that. And also I've done like album reactions on there and stuff like that. And and then we'll get back to this interview with Mr. Sisco. Thanks for listening to that. But if you want to support, patreon.com/MikeMediaInc. Bye. All right, we're back. So what we're talking about, R&B. What R&B musicians are you a fan of?
Man, I'm a fan of a bunch of different genres of R&B, from older to newer R&B sounds. So it's like earlier at work, I was listening to a song by Don Toliver and Masego. Forgot the name of it, but I'll listen to that. Sometimes I'll be listening to like some Keith Sweat or like some Anita Baker, Tina Marie. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of different shit.
Yeah.
I never just hold myself in a one specific like sound or something like that.
Yeah. Are you a fan of like more darker R&B or like The Weeknd and Party Next Door?
Yeah, I love Weeknd. All of, like I said, I'm a fan of all of it. Like,
You know what I heard from Zave? Are you saying something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that like one of my favorite songs last year was Savage Anthem by Party Next Door.
Yeah, like, what's cool about him is he has that sort of disorienting, hazy energy like Future does, and he mixes that with his R&B, and I love that. His weird, dark vocals sort of give me like a Codeine Crazy vibe, with the way the vocals were done on Codeine Crazy, not the beat, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Then on top of that, when you listen to the lyrics, they're very disrespectful.
Yeah, like that's what I say about like The Weeknd too. Is I like his like toxic stuff, like House of Balloons and After Hours. They have the same energy, where it's like, I left my girl at home. I don't love her no more. I didn't tell her that, but I'm gone. Some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Then you gotta think about like this. He was on Nickelodeon performing a song about cocaine.
Yeah, that's how good he is. Like, I can't, I can't feel my face. Like,
yeah, and I love that song.
Yeah, I love that.
You're talking about cocaine this whole song. How the fuck did you make it to the Nick Teen Awards or whatever the hell it was?
It's like It's like a Flo Rida. Didn't he do that whistle? Don't you blow my whistle?
Flo Rida is someone that I do not listen to. I am sorry.
I know, but I'm talking about the won't you blow my whistle, baby, whistle, baby. You don't know that?
I can't say
that's about a blowjob.
I mean, well, yeah, but
I'm
I
just,
can't say I know the song because ever since he came out with the apple bottom jeans shit, I completely blocked him out.
oh, he's like one of those songs that's one of those songs that's like so repeated and played over, like it's like gives you trauma. You know what I'm saying?
It's not even that. I just hate the fucking song. That's
Yeah.
really as simple as I hated that fucking song. I hated the beat. I hated whatever flow he was doing. I hated T Pain. Hook. I hated all that shit.
I'd say that about a lot of popular songs by large artists that I enjoy. Like, who that's a Drake fan listens to Hotline Bling or actually like thinks that's their favorite song by him? It's a good
I
song, but
mean,
there's
but the
so much
thing,
more.
I mean, yeah, but I like Hotline Bling though.
Yeah, yeah, I do it. It is good. I was just trying to make a comparison.
No,
Like,
I get you, but it like even with the mainstream artists, I listen to a lot of mainstream artists. Like I definitely, I love Lil Baby music. I definitely be bumping Lil Baby. I just recently finally had a chance to sit down and listen to Pooh Shiesty album. That motherfucker hard. I listened to Gucci Man. That's one of my top influences of all time. Like
with your vocals or production?
e- everything.
Okay. Yeah.
Everything. Gucci Man is one of my biggest influences because who else dropped that many fucking albums and mixtapes and still keep going? When I like sometimes I feel like, damn, what else can I do? I look and be like,
Yeah.
Gucci Man and Too Short been rapping about the exact same shit for over 20 years now. What makes you think I'm about to sit here and try to do some a bunch of thought provoking, try to like don't get me wrong, I definitely don't knock that shit. I love the what I'm saying, thought provoking music and shit. Like I listen to a lot of different types of hip hop, like the boom baps, the traps, all of that shit. But it's like I know my lane as an artist. I didn't come out as a conscious artist, so what would be my point of dropping a conscious album when none of my fans gravitate towards it and they'll be like, "What is this? This
Yeah.
isn't what we know you for." Okay, you're on some bullshit. We're going off over here. So, like, but as far as like I said, Gucci Man, that's one of my top influences of all time.
I think his energy and when it comes to collaborations and projects and finding new people, finding new artists is I feel like what a lot of people should aspire to, and I feel like that's the reason his success. Like he'll get Quentin Miller on a track with him, you know what I mean, and I respect that a lot. That he'll get not really the most relevant or poppin' person, but still do a song with them and release it and promote it and be like really proud of, just keep going. And he also just work ethic,
Then on
three a
top of that,
year, 3 a year minimum when it comes to projects.
but look at it like this. Look at what he did with the new So Icy squad.
Yeah,
All of them, nobody knew. And what Gucci do? He made them pop. Fujiano popping, Pooh Shiesty popping, Mulatto popping. Like Gucci is one of
Mulatto.
them.
Yeah,
Gucci is one of them artists who always had his ear for that new sound, and that's what I try to do. I try to always be ahead of the curve. So that's why, like, when you go back and listen to like a lot of my older music, you be like, damn, Cisco was doing this back this many years ago that folks are doing now.
yeah,
Like for example, the whole Michigan wave that everybody been on. I was trying to get everybody back on that in 2018, 2019 when nobody trying to do it. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna show y'all why y'all should have got on it. Next thing you know, Michigan started going crazy with the Flint artists, Detroit artists. You got Sada Baby popping off. You got YNJ. You got Rio the Young
42
OG.
Doug.
You got Peas. You got all these different Detroit, just Michigan artists in general. Not even just Detroit and Flint. Like all these Michigan artists in general, just popping off with our own sound. And it's like, yeah, now all y'all want to hop on it. When I was trying to tell y'all didn't want to listen. So it's always fun to see.
um and this is just a question about Detroit. Are you a fan of what Big Sean's been doing?
Yeah, I definitely give a lot of credit to Big Sean. Like a lot of folks give him flack for like being corny and shit like that, but he does a lot for his hometown, and I definitely do give him credit for that because every year you'll see him doing a turkey drive. You know what I'm saying? Gift giveaways around Christmas and just do shit for the city. Because I think recently he opened up a rec center, I believe, just so you know what I'm saying, kids can have somewhere to go and do shit. So
I
I
love Big
definitely give
Sean.
yeah, I definitely give Big Sean a lot of credit for the shit that he does, despite what people may feel about him, like lyrically. Like sometimes he do make some corny shit. Not gonna deny that he makes some corny shit, but sometimes he makes some good shit.
Yeah, and I feel like my appreciation for him sort of soared when I heard Detroit 2 and what led up to
Hmm.
that. How it was originally going to be called Don Life with this single. He released like a couple overtime or some stuff like he released a lot of singles in 2019, and
Hmm.
then towards the end of 2020 he dropped the Detroit 2, and that had the Friday Night Cipher, which
Yeah,
was
what a lot of folks
yeah.
don't know, the Friday Night Cipher was big for a lot of artists. Well, not even big for a lot of artists, just big, like a big moment for the city in general. Just for the simple fact, you would never imagine. First of all, is people on that song that got problems with one another. So a video for that could never be shot unless they just shoot a lot of videos individually and then piece it all together. But the fact that he got folks that got issues with each other on the song, and then the up and coming artists out of Detroit, like I said, the Sada Baby, the T Grizzlies, the Bodie
And
Chain,
then Eminem.
yeah, and the pair to get them on the song with Eminem, regardless if folks like that song or not, that brought a whole lot of attention to those artists because after that song, they streams went up, like Sada Baby streams went up, Bodie James streams went up, Drago streams went up. Everybody's streams that was on that song went up just due to that fact. All the Eminem fans gravitating to that shit. And it's like, okay, who's this artist? Who's this artist? And then they'll go look them up and, you know what I'm saying, venture down the rabbit hole into listening to their shit.
Yeah, like after that, I heard that song. I was like watching a bunch of like Sada Baby's No Jumper content, and he was doing a lot of like stuff over there, like hopping
Mm-hmm.
on their streams and doing little news reports with them. And it's like that was a good song because like it's one of them workout songs for me. Like the 9 minutes nonstop,
Mm-hmm.
and the clip sample in the beginning.
And
Boom.
then another thing that also made it dope too is it brought Eminem back to the Detroit roots in a way because and like a lot of the Detroit folks that I hang around, they don't really listen to Eminem like that no more. They like, man, if Eminem start rapping on like, you know what I'm saying, some more Detroit type beats and shit, I'll be willing to give him more of an ear and shit. And for him to do that Friday night cipher is like, oh shit, Eminem finally doing the Detroit type beat instead of, you know what I'm saying, whatever the hell type beats he be choose. Because sometimes it'd be good and then sometimes it'd be like, bro, what the fuck is this? And it's
Yeah.
like Eminem was one of the artists that it's just like you either love him or hate him, really.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I could say that about. Yeah, I could say that about him, but I don't know who else I could say that for. Um, Trippy Red, 24K Golden. Who else?
I can't say I've listened to 24K Golden, but Trippy Red, he what I don't like about Trippy Red is for every good thing he does something to fuck it up.
Yeah,
Because the regular Pegasus album, I could have dealt with that. The Lux that he did with all that other shit, I get that you wanna expand your horizons and everything, but don't bundle it up with this album because it's just a mess.
yeah. Like that's why I've taken more consideration listening to more smaller, careful artists like Q. I don't know how to say his name, but Qon Ron. You know what I'm talking about?
I can't say I do.
QONRAN. He's made a lot of songs with Baker Your Maker.
I mean, honestly, when it comes to a lot of the underground shit, I be in the bubble. Honestly, that's another reason why like I'm able to just do a bunch of different styles because one thing that I never want somebody to be like, oh, Cisco stealing that time, Cisco stealing that from this producer, Cisco stealing that from that. Like, no. So it's like I like in passing when I hear stuff, you know what I'm saying. I give it its credit, you know what I'm saying, bump it and shit like that. But as far as like me listening to a lot of the underground folks, just like at like on just like in my spare time, I don't do it.
Oh, you're just like listening to whatever really, and I can mess with that. Did you,
It's
okay?
not even more so listening to what I listen to a lot of my beats more than like a lot of folks' music. Like I listen to my beats, or I listen to a lot of the schemaposse shit. So it's like I listen to Zave, I listen to Cold Blood, I listen to DJ V Siren, I listen to Akatami, I listen to like our shit. It like that's just how I've always been. Even before I've joined Schema Posse, when I was just Bass Mafia, it's like fuck, I'm finna listen to just Bass Mafia because
Yeah.
I know exactly what I want to hear. So I'm gonna make exactly what I want to hear. So I don't have to okay, this artist okay, they off key with this. Okay, they
You catch
not
something.
going right with this.
You catch something. You're like, oh snap. Let me go back and you listen to a lot of snippets or sort of like in the vault music, so you can go back and change something. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah,
good. That's
more so
dope.
like always trying to better myself, really. Like that's really like always been my main goal is like, okay, how can I improve on what I just did? So like now after doing the uncut and unrated and dropping the deluxe edition, I'm about to change up my whole different sound from the Detroit sound to something different. So it's like just really listening to myself. I know I know where I want to go with shit. And then when I decide to listen to other music, it's more so a comparison to okay, do I feel like it's at this level yet? Because I like to listen to a lot of the people that inspire me or the legends and shit like that and compare my music up there. Because I feel like if you keep comparing yourself to artists that's around your level and things like that, you're not going to really grow. But when you try, for example, like I'll compare something like if I do a G Funk style beat, I'm like, okay, does it match up to like a Let Me Ride? Do it match up to like a G thing? Do it match up to shit like this from that era, like a DJ Quick track or a Warren G track, shit like that? I want to match up with the legendary folks. So it's like I be in my own head a lot, trying to okay, how can I how can I make a DJ Quick style beat, but Cisco did it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I just try to compare myself to legendary artists. So like, I just look at it like I just have a unlimited self
Yeah.
when it comes to just listening to different musics and shit. So it's like it's more so just me, not even like trying to be self-centered or nothing like that. It's just I really just want to focus on my craft and perfect it to the best of my ability.
That's a good mentality, and anybody listening can learn a lot from that in this episode in general. This was a great episode. Thanks for joining the show, man. You want to announce anything or shout anybody out or tell any plans for your music before we wrap this up?
Shout out Schema Posse. Shout out Bass Mafia. Go check out the uncut and unrated and the deluxe edition of that. I'm having troubles getting into Apple Music right now with some DistroKid stuff, but it'll be on Apple soon. When I don't know, but it'll be up there soon. We got a lot more shit coming. New Schema Posse project. Like I said, me and KB got projects, plural, coming. A lot of different shit.
All right, man. Thanks for joining the show. Really learned a lot. myself as an up and coming producer as well. Thank you.
No problem. Appreciate it. My bad for my phone overheating on me too.
It's fine. It's fine. All right, I'm gonna end recording, and then subscribe. Go to links in the description. Check out his social media and SoundCloud and all of that. And see you guys in the next video or podcast.